the government is so far refusing to consider Crossbench demands to pass its income tax cut package, trying to put pressure back on Labor to pass the bill. Political reporter James O'Doherty is here in Parliament House. James, the Crossbench wants a plan to tackle power prices.
That's right. Only one member of the Senate crossbench so far has supported the government's income tax cut plan, Corey Bernardi from the Conservative Party. The government does need more of the crossbench to come on board if it wants to pass its bill without Labor's support, looking at Centre Alliance senators or Jackie Lambie or Pauline Hanson. Pauline Hanson has already flagged her reservations about this $158 billion tax cut pledge. The crossbench too, they want more action on reducing power bills, maybe a more concrete energy plan from the government. This morning, Assistant Finance Minister Zed Sezelja essentially saying that it was up to Labor to come on board and back this bill.
These are really important reforms that we've done and will continue to do, but on the table at the moment we have tax reform, we have tax cuts, and there is a very clear question for the opposition. Will they learn from the result? Will they honour what they've said since the election, that they want to be for aspiration? Well, here's an early test.
Ed Husick, though, speaking to you a little bit earlier, saying, well, it's up to the government to provide some more detail about this, and it's still too early to say for Labor what they're going to do, Tom.
And, James, the Prime Minister, meanwhile, admitting some agencies are failing veterans as calls for a Royal Commission grow louder.
There's currently a Productivity Commission inquiry into the Department for Veterans Affairs amid a $500 million revamp of the Department of Veterans Affairs. Scott Morrison admitting that some agencies have not done well enough in supporting our veterans. This as calls for a Royal Commission grow louder, particularly from the New South Wales RSL President, James Brown, who says a Royal Commission may be expensive, but it is the right way to go.
Look, we have got to the point where a Royal Commission is the best option to resolve the many structural issues in the system that cares for our veterans. A Royal Commission costs a lot of money, but I think it's money well spent, and certainly the government's shown that it has an appetite to spend money in this area.
Is a Royal Commission needed?
Well, look, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There is certainly an ongoing issue that the PM and the government is responding to with mental health of our veterans. There's no doubt about it. And we are striving to get it right and to do it better. And we could point to a lot of investment that we've made over the last few years. But have we done enough yet? No.
Tom, mental health, particularly for veterans, has been something, as Zed Sezelja says, that Scott Morrison has been focused on. Not very much a front-of-mind issue or front-of-the-press issue for Scott Morrison and his government, but definitely something that we know that he has been working on, perhaps behind the scenes. We could see more on this in the weeks ahead, Tom.